the Into the Weeds podcast, where the headlines are finished, but the deep dives last. With Emma and Laura on the mic, you dig, we dig you deeper on the dive till the truth comes to light. A military broadcast radio, tune in to the strangest stories with a skeptical grin. Stranger things have happened, but it's all real life, like exhuming dead bodies in the middle of the night. Paranormal whispers in the back of the hall, mysteries in the shadows over nightfall. Laura throws sass with a snarky attack, and Emma's got the facts in the case file stacked. The headlines are wild like a gypsy rose thread. Everybody's talking, we go deeper instead. So buckle up tight if you're ready to proceed. The truth goes deep when you're into the weeds.
Into the Weeds with Amber and Laura on Military Broadcast Radio.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Into the Weeds podcast here on Military Broadcast Radio. Thank you for joining us. I was on a very long road trip, about 5,300 miles, and I had a great time celebrating my 26th wedding anniversary. And now I'm back. And last night there was, I'll just tell you what happened. Last night I was scrolling through TikTok, and I saw somebody that I thought was my friend live, and I went in and was like, oh, what's she talking about? You know, and I went in there and I heard a lot of stuff, and I probably wasn't as kind of as I should have been because I was blindsided and dumbfounded at what I heard. But we will get into that. But first, I want you to know that I'm not looking at the comments because I don't want to get distracted. I have trusted people in there like Joy and other moderators in there that are taking care of everything, but I will go back on the rewatch and actually look at the chat. But for now, to keep me on target, that's what I'm going to do. So first of all, I would like for everybody to understand what Into the Weeds podcast is. I'm not sure that everybody completely understands it. I am part of Military Broadcast Radio. I became part of Military Broadcast Radio to get out of my funk after being in bed for 6.5 years with incredibly debilitating migraines. And they offered cognitive therapy through podcasting, now adaptive animation, DJing, and basically whatever you want to do online, we can teach you. And so that's how I started. I have a lot of memory problems. I have a lot of cognitive issues. So this is my therapy. When I first came on here, I was hoping to do some other things other than what we have done. I love the work that we have done, by the way, not saying that, just saying that there were other things that I had planned to talk about that they just never went anywhere. And I fell into a rabbit hole because my cousin is in Chillicothe Women's Correctional Center for 25 years for drugs. She deserves to be there. That's never been a dispute. And because she was there, I learned about Gypsy. I really didn't know anything about Gypsy beforehand other than Munchausen by proxy. She killed her mom, and she used to go hang out with celebrities and do all that stuff. That's really all I knew. And through seeing some red flags just from what Gypsy said on her own, I started investigating. I started looking into it, and I found Fancy, I found Nina, and I found a bunch of other people who were covering the topics because I had never heard of it before. When I was on YouTube, I was watching food stuff and Meghan Markle stuff and, you know, stuff about history. So I had never even come across a Gypsy Rose video. I had never even seen anything about her, even about the crime at that point. And so I started looking, and I ran into Fancy, and that, you know, has been a whole thing. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to know what really happened in this case, because when I saw the crime scene photos for the first time and they were unredacted, there was a lot of blood splatter and a lot of weird places, and there was just markers everywhere. And I'd never seen that much in a crime scene before, so it intrigued me. And then the Barney doll intrigued me. Barney being placed next to Dee Dee's head, that was something that I was just like, what's going on here? So yeah, that's how I started this journey. When I saw those FOIAs, or the crime scene photos, when I saw the crime scene photos with Fancy unredacted in the hotel room after the Chillicothe incident, I started thinking, well, I would love to get a hold of those. I would love to see those and actually study them. Not the unredacted ones.
Yeah, not just like the crime scene photos,
Yeah.
just all of the case evidence. And
Yeah,
stuff.
I wanted to know what really happened, and I wanted to build a project for the state of Missouri, and I wanted to pass it all on to a retired cold case detective to see what he thought about the whole thing. And so I just started learning how to do FOIAs. And I had put in one FOIA request before, but I didn't realize that's what it was. And that was on the Athena Hogan case. And I had been denied of that because it was an active investigation. So I learned what FOIAs were and I started doing them. And the first communication that I have with Greene County for a FOIA document, I get a response from Kendra Hicks, who is the Greene County Records Supervisor. I actually, the first initial FOIA I did, I sent in an actual paper request. And no, don't share that. Don't share that. It's got my address on it.
Oh, shoot.
Okay. So we're looking at the raw data right here. We're not looking at any of the edited stuff.
And have you posted this somewhere before? Just with
I
stuff
have,
scratched
yeah,
out?
yeah,
And
I
probably
have.
you have to go back
Yeah.
a bit. But
Yeah, and a lot of them are in the Google Drive and everything. So I know this one is, but it's on 6/27/24, and they just say, "Dear Amber, we have received the Sunshine Law request you emailed June 24th, 2024, and for one, all phone call records, including recordings and logs for Gypsy Rose Blanchard during her stay at the Greene County Jail, all jail records, including intake records, housing records, incident reports, medical records, disciplinary records, and visitation logs pertaining to Gypsy Rose Blanchard during her stay at the Greene County Jail. We have begun to research your request, but because of the nature and complexity of your request, we will not have the information ready for you within 72 hours. Once we have determined what documentation, if any, we retain or can provide to fulfill your request, I will contact you with any fees due for copies and or research time. I anticipate that we will have the records you have requested available to you before July 19th, 2024. Should we have any questions or encounter any problems during our research, I will contact you as soon as possible." And then it gives her email and everything. So, as you can see, I asked for medical records, which was a dumb move because they couldn't give them to me. So that request was denied. It says, "Dear Mrs. Dietz," and this is June 28, 2024. "Dear Mrs. Dietz, we have reviewed and researched your request for all of the phone call records, including recordings and logs for Gypsy Blanchard during her stay at Greene County Jail, and all jail records, including intake records, housing records, incident reports, medical records, disciplinary records, and visitation logs pertaining to Gypsy Rose Blanchard during her stay at the Greene County Jail. Pursuant to Greene County Sheriff's Office Policy 207, inmate records," and a bunch of letters and numbers, "it is our position that disclosure of such records would impair the public governmental body's ability to protect the security or safety of persons or real property, and the public interest in non-disclosure outweighs the public interest in disclosure of the records. Further pursuant The sheriff must control the jail and has determined that disclosure of the records would jeopardize safety and security. Also, pursuant to that disclosure, the records would jeopardize safety and security. I already said that.
Jeopardize a criminal investigation.
Yeah. Okay. Jeopardize a
Criminal investigation.
Can you read that?
Yeah. And it says, additionally, you have requested medical records, which are by nature are protected records pursuant to another number of the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Just more classifications. You have not provided a valid signed release to indicate that you are authorized to request to receive such records. For the reasons outlined above, we must respectfully deny your request at this time.
So that was my first foray into actually getting any FOIA documents, because I had originally wanted to know about what Gypsy was doing in prison, because that was the angle that I was trying to go with at first. You know, what was she doing in jail? What was she doing in prison? And as you can see, I didn't know what I was doing. So that was what happened. So then I sent many other requests to Kendra. Actually, before I go there, after this one, I actually gave up for a little while because
This was directly after the Chillicothe incident, correct?
yeah, and that happened June 5th of 2024. And then you see there June 24th.
That's the
Is it
first one, I think. Yeah,
27th?
no, 24th down here.
Oh,
You
okay,
emailed.
24th.
It says you emailed. Did you say that you didn't email and you snail mailed it or something?
I can't find a previous email before that. I actually went to the post office and did a request. So I don't know. I'm confused. But maybe this is, you know what? I do remember. I did do an email the first time, and then I got denied and I quit doing everything. And then the second time around, when I decided to do
Snail
a
mailed it.
FOIA, I snail mailed it. That's the distinction. Sorry, I can't remember stuff. I'm just trying to go through this
Cognitive
with you.
issues, y'all.
I'm just trying to go through this with you guys. And so, yeah. So after that, I kind of quit and I was like, oh, dang, you know, I don't know how to do it. I didn't get anything done. And then I remember Hello Starlight talking about how she wanted to get the preliminary hearing. And I was like, dang, I would really like to hear that too. And so I went in and requested that, and Starlight did as well. She got hers, and there was a whole bunch of issues with that. She had to fight to get that. And but once she got that, I was like, okay. So I started then doing more FOIA requests. And eventually it got up to the point where I spent a lot of money. I mean, I spent like around $600 the first time to get the first initial FOIA records that I got. People were asking me to do FOIA crowdfundings and all that stuff. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. And I did it on my own. And when I got it, Alora and I did it live. And there were some people that tuned in and watched, but for the most part, you know, nobody really picked up on the information. And I sent it out to a bunch of creators, and I want to say that it took like 4 months almost. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like it was around 4 months of those documents just floating around and nobody realizing what they were. And it wasn't until Nina and I believe Ivory Rose Nose covered those. And then that's when everybody started paying attention to them. And then, so I was like, okay, well, we need more information. And I was behind the scenes talking to different people in my Discord and in private, you know, just saying, you know, I really want to get these records. And so I started pushing, getting those records, trying to get them. And then finally, after all was said and done, and if you go back and watch my videos, like not even just my Gypsy Rose videos, but other videos, we talk about stuff in the beginning about what we're doing and stuff like that. And We've been extremely transparent all the way. And so eventually I was told that I was going to get the entire file for Nicholas Godejohn, because that's what I asked for. I asked for the entire file. You know, I had to go back several times, amending the requests and doing all the stuff. But eventually, Kendra came back to me and told me that she would, or they were going to grant this request, and that at a minimum, it was going to cost at least $1,800 to start with, to do the research and everything like that. That's what I was paying for, is the research. And so I was like, oh, dang, that's a lot of money, but I guess I'll do it, you know? And so I totally had already sent her some money. I had been sending stuff, you know, and I was on my own path doing that. And then several people tried to, they talked me into doing a FOIA fund. And
she doesn't mean that in like a bad way or
No,
anything.
no.
She just, not like she was negatively influenced. It's just that
No.
she had every intent of paying for it herself. While it would have, I mean, that's a good chunk of change, no matter who you are for the most part. So while she could have done it, I mean, you know what I mean? So people did start offering, saying, hey,
Mhm.
would we be able to donate? Can we donate? And, you know,
And I said no for
you're
a very
pretty
long time.
hesitant, and you know, I know how these things tend to go, so I was very hesitant, and I didn't have any involvement. We've gotten into a few scuffs. you
Yeah,
know.
Alora does not like the fact that I was, participating in the community at large because of all the things that were going on.
Not that there's anything wrong with, you know, there's a lot of good people in this community, and
A
I'm glad
lot.
that we've met a lot of them.
Mhm.
And yesterday, when you made a comment about the community, I think it was just out of frustration, and it wasn't. It was more of kind of like a broad stroke of things.
Yeah, and I shouldn't have said that.
There are
the
some
way
good
I'd said
people
it.
in this community. I think what my hang up is just I've never really been too involved in any other communities, but I've definitely like paid enough attention to them to kind of know what stuff happens in Discord and how there's
I
always
was all
kinds of
new.
drama and stuff. And I was like, girl, I love you, but let's maybe not. And
Yeah, she tried
you know,
to tell
and she
me.
never, I mean, we met some cool people. There's some
Mhm.
people that I absolutely don't regret meeting. And even the people that have ended up not being as great, they're great learning lessons.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
Yeah, if anything, I have definitely learned a lot from this experience.
and it's better that we learn it now than later, you know?
Yeah. So getting back on topic.
Yeah, sorry.
So no, you're fine. So eventually I had like maybe $400 or $500 left to get. I can't remember exactly.
Now, was it because you didn't have the money to pay, or was
Well,
it
I had the
because-
money to pay.
I just want to
but-
make sure that we're saying it in a way that
Yes,
everyone
I
understands.
had the money to pay
Mhm.
out of my own pocket for everything. But when I decided to do a FOIA fund, I just remember, I'm not exactly sure how it came about, but I found out that Morbid was doing a live stream and he was going to talk about the FOIA fund. And I said, well, if you're going to talk about it, why don't I go up there and just explain everything? And he's like, sure, yeah, come on and do that. So now we're going to actually watch Morbid's, the section that I'm in Morbid's live stream, just to show you guys what I was saying and what I was doing at that time. And so we're going to do that.
We'll pause periodically. Not that we think that Morbid's going to copyright strike us, but we're going to make that a habit now.
Yeah. So this starts at, where is that?
Does it say 12:10 there?
Oh, yeah, 12:10. Now it's 3 hours and 8 minutes and 51 seconds of a live.
But she's not on for
Yeah,
very long at all.
But I'm not on for very long. And in the interest of full disclosure, I was in Morbid's Discord, in the Nobody's Discord for quite a while. I jumped out on Halloween night, like 2 Halloweens ago, because there was just some things that happened, and I was just like, I'm not so sure that I want to be a part of this anymore. And
there's still some good people that we talk to every once in a while.
there
that
are,
from there.
and actually some that reached out today that
Mhm.
I really, really value their support.
So
So
we really appreciate it.
yeah. And so there's been some really great people that we've met,
Mhm.
but so we're going to play this. I'm not sure exactly where they're at in their talk, but we're just going to see what happens. And I'm going to pay attention to the chat just so I make sure that everybody can hear it for a second.
Hello, how is everyone tonight?
Apple,
Hear it, please let us
Hello?
know.
Conspiracy. Pause
do
it
you
real
have
quick.
some
Hello, wait.
wind in the back?
Conspiracy asked when was Morbid live? This was back in this. I mean, how long ago was this?
Let me see. I will look it up online real quick.
Yeah, because
This was a long time ago. Oh, it was 10 months ago is all I know is what it says underneath the description.
So
So.
it's been a minute. It's right here on my phone. Let me just see if I can get an exact date for y'all. The title is Gypsy Rose Can't Handle the Truth, Why She's Losing It Over Online Backlash. And it was uploaded on June 1st, 2025.
Okay.
So it's been almost a year. Just so everybody knows, again, so we're on the same page. This isn't something recent or anything.
Yeah.
This is just an old thing to give context for how these FOIAs came about and how she's been very transparent on how she planned to release these since the beginning. And we'll get
Mhm.
into that a little more. But
Yeah, so this was back in June, 10 months ago. And I had heard that Morbid was going to talk about doing or telling people about the FOIA fundraiser. And so I was like, hey, well, why don't I just come on and talk about it? So that's what's going on.
so
And if you cannot hear it, please let me know.
Wind in the back.
I have a fan on.
Echo.
Yeah, no, I do have a fan on, but it never
I think it's
used to
okay now.
cut.
And so Okay, I,
hold on.
hey,
When
Hey, welcome. I want to set your microphone a little bit here, and then she's
Yeah.
going to tell us a little bit about some of the FOIA documents that she's going to be grabbing for all of us. Amber,
yeah.
go ahead. Talk about it. Walk us through it.
Yeah, so in I believe around November, maybe late October, I was listening to Starlight one time on her live, and she had asked somebody to try and get her the preliminary hearing. And so I started trying to get that, and I never got it. But I think
I
it's
have
because-
it.
Yeah, I know. But I
Ooh.
think it's because you had to jump through hoops, and they did too, just to even get it to you.
Yes, they did. Mhm.
So I after that I just kind of thought, well, pretty much everything's out there. But I was like, I want my own copy for historical preservation's sake. And I also wanted to share it, everything that I had or could get my hands on with cold case detective Ken Maines from Unsolved No More. And so I just started asking for I started doing FOIA requests, and so I've gotten about 6 of them officially, and they're in the Google Drive that I set up. And
You got some really good ones.
yes,
Mhm.
but I didn't even know that it was new stuff. I I had actually sent it out quite a long time ago because I believe I started getting it in January, and I even sent it to you, Starlight, and it sat there for a long time.
Yeah, I know. I'm so mad at myself.
Yeah, so you can literally hear Starlight say that, she wishes that she would have looked into the stuff that my mom paid for and sent her for free. And this isn't like a diss to Starlight or
No.
anything, but it's just to show that, my mom sent it to her and several other people, some of which even being some of your favorite creators that, are so respected. And, I'm not saying they were in the wrong for not looking at what she had, but, it just shows you've been underestimated and kind of written off like nothing until super, super, super recently.
Yeah.
So, just, our little pause and 2 cents.
Was
No.
it the one with the video descriptions and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay, of like Gypsy with the toothbrush.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so nobody picked up on it. And I mean, like literally, I started sending it out in January and then February and March. I was getting stuff, and so every time I got something, I would send it out and nobody was biting. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Nobody is,
I remember
uh,
the first thing that caught my eye was the Aaliyah
yeah,
and Gypsy messages.
yeah. So, and I had asked you about that because I was like, well, I always heard that it was Aurora, and in the messages it says Gabriella.
Yeah, there's a lot
And
of stuff in there about
yeah,
Dee Dee's health.
yeah. So I was just assuming that Fancy had everything, that everything was out there. And so I was just collecting, honestly, to put together to donate to the Missouri Historical Society.
Oh,
And yeah, so here we are.
yeah. I remember that thing circulating because I received it from someone too. And then I passed along to Starlight at one point too. She probably had it from you then. But
Yeah.
and then she quickly looked at it and said, oh, okay, because she probably
'Cause
saw it.
I read like the first page, which was just like a copy of people asking for FOIAs.
Yeah.
And then I just didn't read through the 400-page one like I should have.
I
Yeah.
didn't either.
And I'm never going to read through that. So I just gave it to her.
Yes, and Morbid didn't want it from me. I
mean-
actually tried to send it to him, and he's like, "Nah, I don't want it."
I mean,
So,
fair enough. I mean,
there's a lot of information in there, and you really have to sit and read it all. So it's pretty crazy.
and that's before we got the emails and before we got the really big dump. So yeah.
So there we go. Here's this.
I gave it.
I have now.
I gave it to Becca. I gave it to Nina, and then it just sat for a little bit. But I'm sure Becca came and started to look at it a little bit closer when she had some more time.
Yeah.
But she was probably making videos, and
Yeah,
it's
and
coming
I
for
gave
me, so it's not as serious,
Yeah, I gave it to Trixie Lane as well a long time ago, right around the same time that I gave it to Starlight. And so, yeah, I was just perplexed. I was like, okay, well, maybe everything is out there and this isn't new. And then when people started messaging me about Nina and Ivory going over the stuff, I was like, is that the stuff I got? I don't know. And so I had to go through there and actually read it all. And I was like, oh, dang. Yeah, that is that. So,
There were even new crime scene photos and everything.
yeah, so I didn't know any of that, and it just sat there for a long time.
But-
So, as you see and hear, it did. It
Mhm.
sat there for a long time. Nobody picked up on it. Nobody did anything with it, even though Alora and I actually covered it on our show. And
But we were real small back then.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't know about us. So, it happens. No worries. But it was out there. All of this has always been out there.
You have all of this in a Google Drive,
yes,
which you've made, available for everyone.
correct.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so yesterday we were actually out on a search and rescue mission because my daughter's dog went missing last Saturday, but we were not told until yesterday morning. And
Oh no.
as soon as we found out, we headed over there over an hour and a half away to try. I think there's actually quite a bit of talk about oats.
Yeah, but I feel like if you skip through it, you might miss something on
Okay,
accident.
I'll
So-
find him.
Well, real quick, we'll put a pin in what I'm about to say. Just keep it noted for later. His name is Oates. Anybody who's ever watched our channel knows that his name is Oates. There's been some allegations thrown at us that have to do with his name being a different name and that being related to a Reddit account. So just want to let everyone know, if you've watched any of our stuff, his name is Oates, and most people know that. If you don't know it, now you do.
And this is going to be a long little spiel about how he went missing.
But you guys get to hear about it because he is a trooper. And you know what? Everyone needs to hear about it again just to celebrate how awesome he is. I want to lift him up, but he's asleep.
so
So
good. He hasn't been seen since Monday. So we're really,
Oh,
afraid.
still.
yeah.
Couldn't find him yet.
Who is this?
This is my daughter's dog, Oats.
Laura's
Sometimes he
dog.
appears.
no.
Yeah, sometimes he
Oh,
appears on the
no.
show, and
The small
So-
is it the small dog?
yeah.
Oh boy.
That
Did
sucks.
you guys
I'm so
you probably
sorry.
check the pounds or local
Yeah,
rescue
we've
shelters?
and it's a really little bitty town, Higbee, Missouri, around Moberly, Missouri. So if anybody sees a mini pin with a blue collar, there's a $500 reward, and yeah. So
Is that
Yeah.
your picture, your avatar?
yes,
Oh, okay. Let me pull that up again. Screen there.
Oh,
Real
sweet
quick, can you
baby.
pause
Is it
it?
a
yeah,
miniature
I just
pincher or
want to make
something
a
like that?
comment.
Or
yes.
I just actually, you know what? I'll make a comment
Yeah,
later.
thank you.
those things are hyper.
Yeah.
They're
Is
very
he a runner?
athletic and
He is a runner, and my
Mhm.
sister-in-law, because Laura told me she wanted everybody to know, my sister-in-law was watching him, and she left to go to the store, and the one thing we asked her was, please do not leave him outside by himself, and she did.
Yeah. Oh no.
oh.
And he ran, and
Yeah.
as far as I know, he's on a grand adventure. That's what I'm really hoping for.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
Yeah. My
Hopefully someone
dog's like
picks him
that.
up.
He's a
Yeah.
runner.
Yeah, hopefully someone got him already and they'll find your notice or something like that and return him. Yeah,
I'm really
hopefully.
hoping so.
um
Maybe somebody
So,
found
but
him
yeah.
and picked him up.
so Amber is
Took him
here.
places.
She's gonna get a new FOIA, which is pretty much the
Yes.
entire case file on
Yeah.
the Gypsy Rose case, or for the Nicholas Godejohn case,
So,
I guess.
so when I first started asking for the FOIA requests, the Sunshine Law requests, there's two different things there. I was just kind of finding my way through it, because I didn't have any help, didn't ask anybody for help. And I just started writing my own letters. And eventually I caught on to how to ask for things.
Mhm.
And over the process of asking for so many things, the amazing woman in the records department has worked with me and has uh, understood that I want everything they have. And so, what they have researched so far is in front of the lawyers for Greene County, Missouri, and they're previewing it just to make sure everything is legal. And then, as soon as they're done making sure everything is legal, she's going to send it to me. And she also said that, so first, that batch is going to cost $1,889 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then and then in the letter, it also says that they'll also be collecting more evidence. And so it could raise to a much higher price. So that's where we're at right now.
Okay. Yeah, I did see there was an invoice I saw. I don't know if I could show it or not, or if you want me to or not, but
As long as
it's up to you.
that's the one that's got my address blacked out, because I accidentally doxed myself again when I sent it to you guys.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice that. I'm not sure. It's the Adobe website link. Is that the one? Not sure.
Maybe if you go to my community post, it's posted there.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do that. So if you wanna, was there anything else to add to that? What kind of stuff do you think will come in with the whole case? The entire case file stuff. Do you think we will get the videos that
Well,
Gypsy
yeah.
did on her laptop?
As far as I understand, we will get things that may be redacted,
That's
but
what
I
I
think,
think.
yeah,
It's
but I think we'll get everything that they have, because I've asked for everything, every video, every text
every piece of
message.
evidence that they
Yes.
have, I think they
Yes.
should release.
Yes, I've asked for all of that. So I'm assuming that that is what is happening. And considering the fact that the records keeper said that they're going to keep adding on to the price and digging for more evidence suggests that, they're actually working with me.
Hmm.
Yeah, hopefully we get the toothbrush video for educational purposes only, of course.
I bet they would redact that, but
No,
maybe just have.
unredacted, please.
I don't.
So yeah, that happened. We did get unredacted videos.
Not the toothbrush video.
Not the
thank
toothbrush
God.
video. Thank God.
She's laughing because it's awkward, not because she wants. Yeah.
No, yeah, I laugh at. I'm so awkward. Anyways, so we're gonna finish this.
Which we don't want those videos out there.
Yeah.
Nobody deserves to see Gypsy's body, and we'll get more into that later.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
No.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That's going up on YouPorn or Pornhub or something.
They
The
need
nail
to
were
release.
redacted regardless.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that, but I'm sure someone will.
Redact- oh, no.
They need to
Yeah.
release the Demona videos. There's so many videos.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
We need
And
them
are
all.
you gonna get the jail calls? You're gonna get the jail calls too.
Yeah, I saw
So
that
I
included, I
Or
believe, in the invoice. Did you see
and
that?
I'm trying also the DOC months and months ago when I got Nicholas's DOC file, I asked for Gypsies and they said I thought I had gotten it. Okay. And so I thought, oh, there was nothing in it.
That says 5/30/25, which is this the first email that you sent? Is this what they're referring to?
This is the one where we're actually we were quoted like $1,800 basically. This
But
is
5:30, isn't that before what we were just reading? What we were reading, wasn't it like 6 something?
that was 2024. That's
Oh,
2025.
see, I don't know my years. Well, we were due for a pause anyway.
Yeah.
And a few people are asking, what are they watching? Why are we here? There's a lot of allegations that have been levied towards my mother, and we're going to get into everything. If you need to restart the live and, catch up, that's okay. There's nothing super dramatic happening at the moment, or we're not trying to be dramatic, but you know what I'm saying. But this content does have important information because a lot of people have been very upset in the way that my mom shared the FOIAs and the way that she conducted herself. And this is just, it will get into some of the things that she said from the very beginning that she was going to do. So there are no questions. So we can just hold her accountable to what she said and we're all on the same page. So that's all. Sorry.
But it actually was one of the other inmates, Jacqueline Rose, and I was looking at that and I didn't see anything, special, so I just kind of forgot about it. Well, come to find out, they were supposed to have sent me a portal link or a box link to her DOC files, but they never did. And so I've been back and forth for the last 2 weeks with a guy at DOC trying to figure out why I haven't received them and why he can't access them either. So we're waiting to figure out what I need to do or what they need to do in order for me to get those.
You know what else you can get are her kite requests. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I actually asked for
I know
all of that
like
stuff.
those can be boring, but I've seen them do it for like Letitia Stout. It's
Yep.
just interesting to see what they request and like when they request to see a psychiatrist or not, which she probably didn't.
Yeah, and the first FOIA request that I did was denied because I asked for her medical records as well.
Mhm.
And so that's how I started learning how to divvy it up and try to ask for specific things and stuff like that.
Yeah, so here it is. The letter. Dear Amber, we wanted to send you an update on your request for records pertaining to Nicholas Godejohn and his involvement in the case of Gypsy Rose Blanchard and the murder of Claudine Dee Blanchard. We still anticipate for your request to be completed by June 30th, 2025, end of this month here. However, we wanted to send you a copy of what your invoice currently looks like in case you had questions or no longer wanted to proceed. Please note that the hours of research time are current and will increase as we still have files to sort through, which Amber mentioned earlier. Please let us know how you would like to proceed. And here's the invoice. You guys can see it. And you guys could go to Into the Weeds podcast channel, YouTube channel, and it's in her community.
And you see that there, it's $1,887.13 was the projected
Projected.
I don't think it's what they actually ended up charging us for, just so we're on the same page.
Mhm.
But this is what they initially quoted her for. You see the literal proof. And yeah.
Section there. And you can see right here, research time costs is 112 hours at $16.19. That's the bulk of the cost here because it'll total $1,811.28. Maybe more because, you know, they may have to put in some more hours.
Correct.
And then you got shipping at, you know, $10, 85 cents, hard drive, $65. I believe that's the cost of the phone calls and stuff like that. I think it's that package, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know shit. But the total is $18.87, 13 cents right now. But again, most likely a little bit more than this. So we want to try to help her out because she's sharing it for everybody to use, whether it's the Snark Reddit, subreddit, the viewers, creators. So we want to make sure we donate to this cause because, you know, that's quite a lot of money. But this is pretty much the entire case file. And it'll bring content to people. And that's what communities do. And I want to put up her Cash App. Amber, is that your Cash App? Down below, it says it's the money sign Weeds, plural 79.
Yes, correct.
And that's it, right?
Yeah, and we've already collected because I moved everything that came in from PayPal into the Cash App just so I can keep a record of it, and I'm bad with numbers. So we have $1,299 so far.
Okay, I'm going to type it in chat.
How much?
Well,
How much was that?
$1,299.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that's great.
Oh,
Yeah.
now we
Raised
have.
a
I
lot.
just got $1,309.
Hey,
Oh,
so far so good.
So it's going up.
Let's
as
do
we
it. Let's do it, guys. Let me see. Donate to Cash App. It's scrolling at the bottom there. Make sure you guys get that correct. Weeds, it's $ Weeds 79, folks. And let's take care of her because she's doing such hard work. I mean, she's been working on this for quite some time. Really
Yes.
being
Yeah.
patient, right?
the Lord's work. Yeah.
Yeah, and then dealing with several different things and then trying to watermark everything because at first I didn't care about watermarking everything because I was like, oh, I don't want to be fancy. And then some things happened and I was like, oh, I should watermark everything.
I mean, if you're doing all the work to get it, I think you should at least give the person credit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
For sure.
Can I
So
ask a
I,
question?
huh,
Do you have any other for people in Europe? We can't use Cash App. So I
yeah,
know
so I
Okay.
have PayPal and it's just under my name, Amber Dietz.
Can you put it in the back?
Yeah.
I'm going to throw
Yeah.
it up on the screen.
'Cause
In
I
back
have
chat.
shit in my Cash App. I'll send you some PayPal though.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it keeps going on of us collecting money. I can't remember exactly how high it gets if you want to listen to the whole thing.
We're ending it at 30 minutes and 7 seconds out of a 3 hour and 8 minute live stream. I'm not going to go back and look. Oh, actually, I guess you can see Gypsy Rose can't handle the truth. Why she's losing it over online backlash. I read out the date on it. I forgot what it was.
I
by
believe
now,
there's a Little Miss Sunshine on the thumbnail or something like that. So
Oh. So that's what that is. But did you guys notice something towards the end? My mother said that she would be watermarking the FOIAs that you crowdfunded for. people have been upset about it. They've been very accusatory towards her about that. And it was not her original intention. And I'm half the reason why she decided to do it, because I was fussing at her a little bit, not in like a horrible way, but just saying, like, you did the work, you deserve it. And clearly the people that are on the panel agree. A lot of people agree. And we are very thankful to every person that donated. However, I'm going to say this, and I mean it. If you donate to a cause and you do not listen to the words that are coming out of the person's mouth, talking about how they want to use that money, then that's on you if you don't know what's being done with the money. Does that make sense? Or what the FOIA, what she's doing. Actually, I think it might talk a little bit more about what you plan on doing if you have excess funds about the Jelani Day Foundation. Does it talk about that a little bit?
Probably. I probably said, because I've been upfront that I will give half to the Jelani Day Foundation and half to MBR, whatever's left over. Honestly, there's not a whole lot left over because I ended up helping some people get FOIAs, and
That's another thing. She has helped write FOIAs for people, and she has sent them money to have them be able to request the things themselves. So even if we didn't use the money specifically for the FOIAs, a lot of people did also use that money
Well,
for
some
the same
people did.
FOIAs.
Some people did.
Okay, a
Some
couple of
people did.
people. Sorry, I wasn't trying to be hyperbolic. It's
Yeah.
just an accident. So
the point is
Mhm.
that money sat there for a really long time and I didn't do anything with it. Now, I will be very honest. A couple of days ago, I used $300 out of that to give to Teron Evans Jr.'s mother, Jennifer Backstrom. She was actually on our channel. She's going to Chicago. Actually this weekend, probably right now, she's in Chicago at an event trying to get justice for Teron. So, but I am closing down that FOIA fund, and I am going to take $2,000 of my own money, and I'm going to split it down the middle, and I'm going to give half to Jelani Day Foundation, and then I'm going to give half to Military Broadcast Radio.
which is a registered charity.
Yes,
It's not just her
both of them
funneling
are.
it. It's not just her
Yes.
funneling it back into her own pocket. She does not make any money off of MBR. She's actually lost a lot of money donating to and helping out MBR, as have a lot of the people that are on MBR,
Yeah,
So,
which is something you do when you're actually trying to build an organization.
yeah. It's normal.
But okay, so anyways, so that happened. That's the whole deal with the crowdfunding.
And how much money did you make
It
approximately?
was like 2,000 some odd dollars altogether. It's on that live stream. All you have to do is go and look at it.
And again, we're leaving off at 30 minutes and some odd seconds. So it's there for anybody. If somebody wants to make a counterclaim, just watch the video and it'll, yeah.
So, so that happened. Now, what happened last night is that I guess yesterday sometime, I guess Bree read an email that Becca Scoops and I had corresponded on. It's her, it's my email, her response, my response, her response is what I think she read. I didn't see Bree read it, but whatever. So I guess she read an email that I sent to people because I got, okay.
This happened a year ago.
Yes,
or
this
more.
happened February of 2025. I thought it was 2024, but no, it was February of 2025. Bree had just doxed Becca, and I thought that was really crappy. I was hearing all kinds of things, and I was like, dang, man. And I thought, if somebody asked me about that, what do I even say? Because I was like, I didn't know what to say. And so one of the things, because I have cognitive issues, I like to prepare statements. It may sound dumb to some people, but I like to prepare statements just so I know what I'm saying is correct and what I want to say, because sometimes I get lost and I forget what I'm saying and things like that. So I wanted to just prepare a statement letting Becca know that I supported her and all that.
Did you do that? I thought that she sent you a message first, a mass message
Well,
to a bunch
she
of
did.
people.
She did send a mass message to quite a few people explaining what happened and all of that. And so I thought, okay, well, I should probably address this if somebody talks about it. So that was my intention. That was my intention. And so I sent her a message. I'm not going to read it because then people will get upset because I read the message. But Keish obviously read it yesterday, and Bree read it yesterday. So you guys can find it. It's out there. Was it right of me to share that? No, it absolutely was not right of me to share that. I was upset, and it was an impulsive thing because I felt like I was being demeaned, belittled, and threatened.
Something y'all need to know about Becca is
This is from her.
This is from me. This is from me. And I've intentionally kept my mouth shut because, not even because I'm afraid, but what's the point in just stirring up a bunch of drama? Okay, I made my feelings clear in a couple of Reddit comments. But she likes to email people, and she likes to play victim, and she likes to, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, by the way, this part, but there's some stuff that's gonna be facts. Okay, I'm gonna calm down. It's not that serious. It's really not. It's really not. This happened
No,
forever
it's
ago.
not.
Sorry, I get a little annoyed. I'm turning to where I can't see the comments just in case, because it'll just annoy me. But anyway, it's not that serious. Well, it is, but it's fine. Okay. But she does, in my opinion, like to butter people up and try to get them on her side. And, you can disagree with me. I'm not going to sit here and share other people's emails, but she does it to people all the time. I would like to say that no matter what I'm about to say about Becca from here on out, and this is the last time I'm ever going to talk about Becca. After this, I'm not bringing it up again because it's not productive. It's not productive. However, I don't think it was right that Bree went in and decided to go through all of Becca's information, try and figure out who she is. It was wrong. It was. However, the video that Bree did find, I don't understand why everybody just acts like it wasn't a big deal. Becca talking about how gay people should not have the right to get married. Not that she doesn't agree with it personally or that it's against her religion, that they should not have the right to get married.
I haven't listened to a lot of this stuff, so I don't know anything. I've listened to some things.
I mean, you probably listened to the original Bree video, correct?
Oh yeah, the
the video that
bits
Bree-
and pieces of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So regardless, gay people should not be allowed to be married in my Catholic church, is what she says. Very angry. In my opinion, Becca is a failed Alex Jones. She used to have multiple different radios, or she worked for different radio stations. She did all kinds of online stuff. I'm not going to put everything out there. It's available to find. But when Becca messaged a few people, and I didn't read this directly, but Becca messaged a couple people, sent emails to you and a few other people, we won't say who it is, where she was kind of trying to get ahead of everything and, explain herself away. Well, one of the ways that she explains that she's not homophobic is that she used to play softball in high school, and she's still friends on Facebook with some of those girls that are gay now. I could be misremembering parts of that, but I'm pretty sure it came down to about that. So whatever.
Yeah, I
That-
wasn't going to go into all this,
I'm saying because this is the last time I'm ever talking about Becca, so I'm telling you guys how I feel.
Okay.
And if people don't like it, then that's okay. That's fine. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just telling you how I feel, so it's not a question. Okay. So when I saw Toddy, who you guys might know we're not friends with any longer, I don't want to get into that. But at the time, I saw that Toddy made a video kind of talking about how she supports Becca, and Toddy is a gay woman. She is a lesbian. And she was putting her own sexuality and her own feelings and her own right to be married aside and defending Becca and her beliefs. Now, again, Becca, you can totally believe whatever you want to believe. That's fine. I have people in my life that I care about that don't think being gay is right either.
and I don't agree with it. And it hurts me a little bit as somebody who's bisexual. But it is what it is. You can't change somebody's opinion. But the difference between having an opinion and thinking that laws should dictate what you can and can't do, I'm not arguing with anybody about this. I'm just not, okay? So I decided to look in a little bit more. And something that was brought up, because we're kind of skipping around a little bit, but I just want to bring up the Jesse Lee Peterson thing because it became relevant in
That's what the whole email was about.
That's what the whole email was about. Okay. A lot of people don't know who Jesse Lee Peterson is. I would strongly encourage y'all to Google him after we get off. He is a black man that is considered to be a white supremacist. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have conversations with people, okay? But in the interviews, because there were at least 2 different interviews, I think she went on his show and he went on her show. She is supporting him and telling him that, you know, a lot of people don't agree with your controversial takes, but, you know, I want you to know that I, as a woman, agree with your takes. Okay, what are his takes? The 2 things that he is most famous for, y'all, is that women should not be able to vote. And 2, I want everyone to know that this is a direct quote. I am not saying this. Do not clip this as me saying this. He, as a black man, said that black people deserve to go back to the plantation to learn what a hard day's work is. And Becca talked to him, and I'm not saying that she knows every single thing he's ever said, but those are the 2 most notable things that he is known for.
Yes.
I'm on the left. I'm sure everyone knows that. I'm sure that's very noticeable, okay? But I wasn't always on the left, okay? And I knew who he was and had an issue with him before I was on the left.
Okay, so what happened is I asked Becca if she supported Jesse Lee Peterson and if she supported him as a person or just supported his ideas, and because those are 2 different things. And she wrote back, and I felt threatened, I felt demeaned, and I felt like she was basically pulling, you're a small creator and I can take you down if I so choose, is how I took the email. So I sent it to Sir Morbid X. I sent it to Toddy One Skip. I sent it to Millennial. And I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it.
You didn't send it to a Discord or anything?
Well, no, I was just
gotcha.
saying that's the email that I forwarded. I forwarded the email to everybody, those people, with the title, "This is the Real Becca Scoops." And then I also put a screenshot in my Discord. And it was wrong. It was wrong to do that. I'm not denying that. And Becca and I actually made up.
You've talked and been
We've
cordial
talked.
since.
We've been cordial. And the fact that this is being brought up now is awfully convenient. And I don't believe in coincidences. There's a lot of things going on. You know, just a couple of weeks ago, we were told that Gypsy had been plotting to take our channel down. Well,
and now we're getting false allegations about other stuff, and we haven't even gotten into that yet.
Yeah, we
But
haven't
I
even
just
gotten
wanted to
into
make
that.
it very clear, and my feelings are my feelings. She feels strongly about the fact that everyone deserves rights. Okay, she feels strongly about that, but I'm more on like I participate in activism of a certain kind from time to time, and it's something that I'm passionate about. So if you guys continue to support Becca, I understand. I want to say that at least out of the videos that I've seen, as far as like just covering the information that we had at that time, she did the best videos. Now there are some things that I don't agree with. I'm not going to get into a lot of other stuff, but the racism I can't stand. I will not stand for. And the reasons why I think that she has maybe.
It's just not even
Now,
going anymore.
All I'm going to say is I don't stand for anything that's in that realm, I should say, because I'm not going to put a label on her because I don't know the person that she is inside. I'm just going to make that clear. maybe I'm being too forward with my words because I'm a little upset at it. But I will say that the things I've seen are not okay. And it's not just Jesse Lee Peterson. There's a lot of different things that you can look into. And also, as a woman who has been on birth control and, you know, done different things, she has in the past stated that if you are a woman that's on birth control, you're going to hell. So it goes a lot deeper than that.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
just
know.
saying that. I'm just saying that, and we're moving on. I
Thank
will
you.
not speak about Becca ever again, but I had to get my piece out there so that I don't have to think about it again. We don't all have to be united front. I'm not trying to get her channel taken down. I think that she deserves freedom of speech. I think everything that she disagrees with, or that I disagree with, she should be able to say. But I'm just letting you know why we don't support Becca. And I don't judge anybody who does, because I understand that she did make good videos. I haven't seen any of her videos in a very long time, but some of her videos were good. And
Very good.
you cannot take that from her. But personally speaking, I choose not to engage with people that have histories like that. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Have I said stupid stuff? Absolutely. But that's where I'm leaving that.
Okay, so
Sorry.
all that being said, you know, Becca and I are cool. I didn't have any problems with her. I was a little upset that I found out about Gypsy targeting us just like everybody else did.
She did not tell us. She told other creators, but didn't tell us.
through her live stream. So that was upsetting. But at the end of the day, that's
That's her right.
It's her deal, you know, whatever. So moving on from that.
Sorry. And that's the last time we'll ever talk about Becca, ever. So.
Yeah, well, we're not going to be talking about Gypsy any longer either.
Other than some things that we're already working on.
Yeah. So last night I was on TikTok. I ran into Chewy's live, King Chewy, I guess, and Ashley with the timeline was up there. I went in there because I saw Audrey and I was like, oh, Audrey's in there. Let's see what she's talking about. I get in there and all of a sudden I start hearing Into the Weeds as little Frodo and all this stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? I was like, what the hell is going on? You know, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, well, come on up. And I was like, what's going on? So essentially, Ashley with the timeline, who is now linked up with Audrey, has decided that Alora, Millennial, and myself are Frodo, Maleficent, and Biscuits from Reddit, and that we have been going in there and turning people on Becca and turning people on other people. And that is just not the truth. I have always gone by Outlandish History on Reddit and on YouTube and on Discord. I have a very large footprint on there. So if you, that's who I am, Outlandish History. So, but yeah, she was saying that we were behind the scenes causing chaos and turning on people. And that is just not true. I have actually spoken to Maleficent we have spoken to Maleficent face to face through StreamYards.
And I didn't even know who she was whenever I came down here. I just saw you talking to someone and I sat down.
Yeah. And the only reason we talked to her is because she was supposed to have met us in Springfield when we went down there with Ashley Baby to interview people, which nobody showed up. Nobody even promoted either. But you know, it is what it is. So there's people on Reddit who don't like Becca and who don't like this person and who don't like that person. It's not me. It's not Alora. It's not Millennial.
And I don't even know how we could prove or disprove. And I don't want to make it seem like people can't come up with theories or they can't speculate about things, talk about how they feel. You know, I'm sure there's been a time when I've probably done it too, you know, whether it's related to this case or not. But the smugness and the matter-of-factness over something that just factually is incorrect and that there's no proof for. I listened to part while you were talking on there. I didn't listen to anything after that, and the only things I know other than what you said were just a couple things that someone had texted me earlier. But she one of her things to prove that you were Frodo, I guess, was that we have similarities in cases that we follow. And you asked her, well, what cases are those? And she kind of stopped in her tracks. Like she wasn't expected to elaborate on that. And she kind of stammered and she eventually was like, oh, well, the Idaho 4. The Idaho 4 case is one of the most popular cases in media right now.
Especially with the new book coming out and everything. And I didn't even really start watching that until Jules True Crime started doing her stuff, and I became acquainted with her.
And I've been following it since it happened, just point blank honest. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been paying attention. I mean, I haven't been commenting on anything about it or posting about it. We haven't talked about it here other than maybe
Not on this
mention.
channel, but I did do
you?
I did we didn't do it on this channel,
Mhm.
but Dog Tag Diva and I did a show about it on her show on Military
okay.
Broadcast Radio.
Yeah,
And that
so-
was right after the Dateline stuff came out.
Gotcha.
And the new documentary. And so we were talking about that.
Gotcha.
But at the end of the day, I'm not little Frodo. Actually, from my understanding, little Frodo does not like me because I told everybody that I didn't think what Audrey did was that bad in the grand scheme of things, because a lot of people do a lot of crazy stuff. And I got a lot of heat for that. And so yeah, I'm just not little Frodo. I don't know where that came from.
And then Biscuits, I don't really even know too much about her, but I know that there was some post that was made maybe a month or so ago about Fancy, or Fancy got mentioned in the comments, and someone tried to explain what happened with the Chillicothe incident, and they just had like 2 things wrong. So I just came in the comments, and as I do, I just said what was right, because I was there. I mean, I was there for most of it. I didn't see
Yeah.
the incident, but whatever. And Biscuits got really upset that I was, saying things about Fancy, which all the things I said were true. But anyway, and then she blocked me. So I'm blocked by Biscuits and by Fancy. So, I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell. I've spoken to Frodo one time. I
And I
sent one
never have.
message and she sent another message. That's it. So, I mean, there's really not even much to say here because, I mean, there's nothing we can do to try and convince anybody otherwise. Just follow the character who you think has,
Yeah, and I don't know if this woman Ashley is looking for a villain to pin all this stuff on. I don't know what's going on here.
yeah.
It's very confusing. As a matter of fact, when all this stuff started, I was so confused.
I still don't even understand the whole
I don't
situation.
either.
I've tried to kind of ignore it because I don't know. Audrey, I know you're listening. I care about you. I do, and so does she. Okay. Although personally speaking, I think that
I didn't think we had a problem until last night. I didn't even know.
I didn't think we have a problem, but I'm just going to say this, and it's not anything bad or crazy, but I personally do think there is a conversation to be had about somebody with a large platform making a video about, a faceless Redditor. And I'm not saying that there's no situation in which it's appropriate. I'm not making the determination, but I understand the frustration of a lot of Redditors.
And I don't have a problem with it because.
And I'm not
whatever-
even saying that I have. I'm not even saying that I have a problem. I mean, it's all situational, and I have tried to intentionally not pay that much attention to what it is. But Audrey, I care about you. We care about you, even if we're not cool. Like, we're not going to say anything because we called you a friend at some point, even if we're no longer friends. It's just not what we're going to do. We're not going to sit here and trash you or say anything about it. But it did hurt us a little bit that happened. We did put a little bit of distance in the group chat. That is 100% true. But it was just because we saw that things were getting kind of dramatic, and not necessarily that you were being dramatic towards us or anything. We just didn't know how to navigate it. And you can see, you never know who to be friends with. And again, no hate to you. I wish you the best in the world, especially to your kids and stuff. And, I know that you were hurt that we didn't, defend you on certain things. We don't make videos about everything that happens. But to those of you who have looked into Audrey's kids, that's weird. That's not cool to bring kids into it. To talk about her abuse or their abuse, that's not cool. That's not cool. So this is me defending Audrey on that point. I don't agree with everything you do. I don't disagree with everything you do. This is the last time that I, feel like we need to address that.
Yeah.
There's no beef or hatred or malice. And,
No.
we were a little more upset last night, but we've, thought about it and collected our feelings. And I'm glad that we're talking about it a little bit.
Yeah, and when I went up there last night, I was just so dumbfounded that I was like, this is dumb. And I don't remember calling Ashley dumb. I remember saying this is dumb. But if I said that, I'm sorry, because I really, that's just, I was shocked and dismayed. And then today, so we're going to address this too. So today I was listening in on one of the lives, and it was brought up that I made $13,000 on one live.
Was it on one live, or did they say that you raised $13,000 in the FOIA? I just heard different people say different things.
Yeah, well, originally it was I raised $13,000 in one live, and then it's morphed into I raised $13,000 for their crowdfunding. Neither one of those is true. I never expected to be monetized. I genuinely didn't. It was never my goal. And when I did become monetized, I was happy about that. I was like, oh, well, we can start, doing some things.
Well, also, whenever you first started this channel, I don't think your disability was set up in a way to where you were even able to make an income, period.
wasn't.
You could have gotten in trouble and
Yeah.
lost your disability or perks from your disability.
Mhm.
I just want to make that very clear. That's how she started out. We didn't come to make money. It was her cognitive therapy. And the only reason why I'm even here is because she was nervous and wanted someone to talk to and bounce ideas off of. So, and it just stuck. So, I mean,
Yeah, because originally I was by myself. But so the $13,000, what happened is I was talking to Audrey, and I'm only going to say that because she was the only person I told. I didn't even tell Laura how much I made.
when I heard $13,000, I was like, the fuck? I don't have a car. I don't have a car. Just so you know. Just so you know. Anyway.
She uses
continue.
mine, but
Or
anyway.
I have a car, but it's been in the air for over a year.
So anyways,
Literally the air.
so I only told Audrey because we were having an honest conversation about all the stuff that was happening. And I thought I was talking to a friend, and I said, hey, since we're being honest, I made $13,000 off of all of those videos of Gypsy from the
Videos, the live streams, everything that you posted.
Yeah. So that month when
December or January?
I'm not sure,
One of the two.
whatever month that was that I started doing the lives with the videos, and then I dumped all of those videos into the channel, I made $13,000. And the only reason I brought that up is because somebody was talking about how much another creator made, and I bet they make way more than you do. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm sure they do, because I only get pittance. And genuinely I do. You guys can see that for yourselves, but yeah, so it was just a conversation between friends, and somehow it morphed into I got $13,000 for one live, and I got $13,000 from the crowdfunding, and that's just simply not true. And I know who I told that to, and I know that person had to have said that. So that's disappointing. And I'm just being honest, it's, and so last night I said, I'm disappointed in the community. And people were very upset that I said that I was disappointed in the community. But you got to look at it from my perspective. I was engaged with the community. I went into people's live streams and I chatted. I gave gifts. I shared. I hyped. I tried to be part of the community. And it felt like I never really was. And so I decided a while back that I guess I wasn't part of the community. And so Alora and I decided, we're only going to talk about Gypsy when it's relevant, when we have something to show or whatever. And so we were moving on from Gypsy, and at least here on YouTube. Okay. And we'll explain more about that later. But there's some other things I want to address. I heard, and this really is frustrating, and I don't understand where this is coming from. I heard, I'm just going to say it because it was on a live, and I'm not trying to be mean or call anybody out, but I heard Carolina Girl say that I had sabotaged her ability to get the FOIA videos. First of all, I am completely blown away. When I heard that, I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't even understand that. And from my understanding, because I called Greene County and told them that there were sexually explicit videos that they sent me, 3 of them, that they needed to know about it. And I was afraid that anybody was going to get it, not Carolina Girl, not, just anybody was going to get a hold of these sexually explicit videos and put them out there. I'm not saying she was going to do that, or
No,
that's not the point. I was just afraid that Greene County was going to send them to somebody that would put them out.
because we have no way of knowing who put in requests.
Yeah.
It could have been 1,000 different people. And then look, 1,000 different people have images of Gypsy's body. And I know we don't like Gypsy here, but I mean, I'm not going to even try to explain myself on why I don't think it's right to show pictures of people's naked bodies.
If we have to explain that, then just, we're not the
Then
channel for you.
This is not the channel for you.
But yeah, so I did not ever try to hamper anybody's ability to get any records. Never. The communications I've had with Greene County have all been just trying to get this information out here. I never once tried to stop anybody from getting any information.
Except for the nude videos, which I
Well,
think they ended up sending
I think
because
they ended up-
I think they legally have to. And anybody who tells you that Greene County didn't send nudes and that they redacted part of them because they asked, I would ask you to question that. I'm not saying it's incorrect, but Greene County, I don't think they have the time,
They
effort,
don't.
wherewithal. I could totally be wrong. I could stand corrected. But genuinely, I believe that with my whole heart. If someone told you that they got it sent back redacted, question it.
And all I did was call them up and say, hey, I got some sexually explicit videos. You might want to do something about that. And then people got mad at me because I didn't release those sexually explicit videos. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to do that. And then people were like, oh, there's just a whole lot there, and I don't even want to get into it because at the end of the day, it really doesn't.
And then,
matter.
people are always saying, you slowly drip fed the stuff so that you could make money and do all that. Well, there was a time when we were watching videos on a live stream and we had kind of skimmed through the video, but they're all kind of long and hard to look at 100% of the time. So we started playing it and then we're like, this looks a little weird. So we took it off the screen and I think we might have just played the audio. And if we would not have done that, we would have accidentally exposed her.
Yeah.
And that was something that we thought we had looked through. There are so many files that I'm sorry, we're just going to do that. And again, like she said, she told everybody that she was going to be watermarking things. She said it on the live where she was asking for donations. And watermarking takes time. A lot of things take time.
Well, okay. And so also last night I said that I asked the community for help and they didn't help me. I was actually talking about the first FOIA dump that I did. When I was presented with that, that's what I said. Whatever happened last night, whatever I said, that was my intention, what I was talking about when I released all of that information and nobody did anything with it. And still, I'll ask you, how many people have actually done a lot with the information that's out there now that we just got? I mean, there's so much information on there that you could sit on a live for 4 hours and show everybody everything.
It's not just the videos. And
The only reason I don't do it is because I'm not interested in Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I'm interested in justice for Dee Dee. And I'm working on some things in the background to make that happen. I have one project that's very small that I helped put together that is coming out soon. It's just kind of a, hey, look at this. This is what happened. And then, and that should be coming out pretty soon. But then we also are working on another project. And this is something that really is, I believe, going to get justice for Dee Dee, I hope. We're in the very beginning stages of it, but
We're just working on stuff and just trying to help with that. But other than those two projects that we're working on, Lord knows what's even going to come of them. But you know, that's it. I think we're going to have to just respectfully bow out.
and that doesn't mean I'm not still doing FOIAs in the background and still doing work on the case.
And if
But
something super, super, super important happens, then we'll cover it maybe. But
I
it's
don't even
just-
know that I want to do that anymore.
No, you know what? That's fair. Because honestly, I'm kind of done. And we're not done with the entire community. There's some great people that we've met. And, you know, something that we're actually doing this week that's unrelated to Gypsy is we're going to be going down to Oklahoma. And we're going to try and help advocate. You know a little bit more about it than I do because I just found out about it a couple days ago. But
Yeah, Mary Pewitt was murdered in Comanche, Oklahoma, I believe in 1989. I can't remember exactly right now. My mind's kind of jumbled up.
it's been a long day.
But we were asked to go down there and meet the family and have some discussions at the library and, you know, talk about podcasting and true crime and all of that. So we're doing stuff like that. all
That's
the
what we're
time.
most interested in. We're most interested in just helping people, trying to get the word out there. We did what we could with the Gypsy case. And other than the two things that we're working on that, you know, we're kind of bowing out. So, you know, again, if you like our content and you want to, you know, come along the journey with us and try and get justice for these other people, we would love that. But otherwise, we appreciate the time.
Mhm. Yeah, we do. And I just saw Daisy Dead in here. I haven't seen her in a really long time. I hope you're doing well. I just put the
I'm going to say this, and this is the last thing I'm saying. I'm not reading who said it or anything. I think someone's catching up, and this is the last thing I say about Becca, for real, for real. But someone says history is being the key word. What has Becca shown today to show that she's this person you're claiming? Well, what has she shown today to show that her changes or her views have changed? That's all I have to say. As she's rude to people behind the scenes, and if that email and other things that no one has seen don't tell you that, then I don't know what to tell you. Again, support Becca if that's what you want. But that's
actually,
it.
I say support her, you know, because honestly,
She's probably going to still continue to talk about Gypsy, and somebody needs to do it.
Mhm.
Somebody needs to do it. They really do. So again,
but
that's
we're not
it.
the people. I want to get justice for Athena Hogan. I want Michelle Crawford to be found. I want Mandy Raitt and all of the other women who are victims of the Lawton serial killer to get justice. I want Dee Dee to get justice. I want Jelani Day to get justice. Teron Evans Jr. to get justice. There are so many things that I'm more worried about than Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And if you guys don't see that we were targeted by them for doing nothing other than putting out FOIAs, and now we're being targeted as being somebody that we're not, and people are going around saying all these really terrible things about us.
And we understand not everybody's going to like you. If you think we're boring, annoying,
Because
weird.
I am boring.
Yeah, our lives can get boring. I'll be the first to admit it. But those can all, you know, those are all opinions. But if you're going to make a bold claim about somebody, especially someone that you don't know the stuff she does behind the scenes, and people are going to say, oh, yeah, I know what she does behind the scenes. Everyone thinks she's doing bad stuff behind the scenes, but she helps so many people. She'll never tell you any of that. And I'm not going to, because it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. But the people she's helped, some of which have turned on her. And I'm not even talking about people that we've even talked about in this live stream, just different people. Okay.
Mhm.
And I've watched my mom do things for people for years, unrelated to Gypsy, my whole entire life. She has not had friends. She has had not had people to count on. People could always count on her. And I'm not extending this to myself. I have my own issues. I know that I'm rude. I know I'm abrasive, all that stuff. I'm out of this. This is the sweetest lady ever. We don't agree on every single thing.
No, we don't.
But we don't. But I love this woman. I love this woman so much. And not just because she's my mom, because she is a lovely human being. And that's the only time I've really kind of really gone off or really commented on Reddit. Like, really, is when people are saying shit about her that's not true. Again, think we're boring, annoying, ugly, weird, stupid, any of those adjectives. But a liar, a scammer, a cheater, and a backstabber are all things that she absolutely is not.
Yeah, and I've made mistakes. We've all made
For
mistakes.
sure. 100%.
But I will definitely cop to them. And I wanted to talk about the whole Becca thing right after it happened. And everybody was like, no, don't do that. You'll blow up your channel and nobody will ever watch you again. And I was like,
well, that's okay. We have not had, a super huge audience for a lot of the stuff we've been covering recently, but our hearts are a lot more in it.
and the people who are actually watching us, their hearts are really in it. And I
They
am
want to be there.
I am so thankful
Mhm.
for the wonderful subscribers that we do have, people who genuinely care about the things that we're talking
Mhm.
about.
Not just us, they care about these victims.
Yeah.
And the victims are who matters.
Yeah.
And I think as much as people say justice for Dee Dee, a lot of that even gets thrown to the side because of people's overwhelming hatred of Gypsy. And I get it. She super sucks. Okay.
Mhm.
But that doesn't excuse the misogynistic comments constantly. Not from everybody. A lot of it's messed up. And you're giving Gypsy what she wants by bullying her, talking about stuff. And I'm not saying I've never said anything about someone's looks before, because I have. But it's just, there's a point. It gets too much. It gets too much. And we're respectfully bowing out, other than for the
Our
two projects. So,
But I guarantee you, you won't be disappointed.
No.
So yeah, that's it for tonight.
Mhm.
I really do appreciate everybody who's been here to listen to us.
even if
I'm
we
sure I
disagree.
missed things. I'm sure I didn't cover everything to everybody's satisfaction. But I do wish that you would please look at everything that we've done, especially me, because Alora just recently got into all of this. She genuinely didn't even want to talk
You
about any
had-
of this or anything. I had to drag her.
You had to force me to get a Discord. I had never had a Discord before that. I deleted it, by the way. I think the account still exists, but I don't have it on my phone. And I've only talked to a handful of people in this community, not because I have anything against y'all, but I don't really even text people that much. I mean, when we were in that group chat, we texted like quite a bit, and I was kind of involved in that. That's the most I've texted anybody in years. In years.
Yeah, but either way, I mean, we're never going to make everybody happy, but I do really, really appreciate all of the support
Mhm.
that we have gotten. And by no means do I ever want to paint a brush and say that all of the anti-gypsy rose community was like this or anything like that. No, but there are quite a few people who have very loud voices who cause a lot of trouble and do a lot of things that they shouldn't do. And that's why I was disappointed. It had nothing to do with any one person or anything. It's just the culmination of a lot of things that you guys don't even know the half of. And
No
So-
point.
and there's no point in it. So, with that being said, we are going to go, but next week, and just so you guys know, every week we go live on Saturday night.
This wasn't just because this happened.
every night or every Saturday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, we go live. That's my time slot on Military Broadcast Radio. This is being live streamed on Facebook, 2 different accounts, LinkedIn, 2 different YouTubes, Twitch, X, Roku. And then after we're done, it's going to go to a lot of other places. And just so y'all know, when we are broadcasting, people in VFW halls and hospital beds and all kinds of different things, people who listen to Military Broadcast Radio, they don't really listen to us through YouTube. And so, yeah, we're part of a bigger organization. And so I'm sorry to all of my MBR watchers who had to go through this and listen to this. I know there's going to be, tons of questions, but I had to address it because I kept hearing so many just terrible things being said, and I
don't think any of them were true.
They weren't. Except for that I was rude on panel last night when I jumped up there because I was so freaking...
You were a little rude, but
Yeah.
I'm rude all the time, so I get it.
I was dumbfounded. So anyways, that being said, we are going to go, and next week we are going to pick back up on actually,
we're gonna be out of town, so do you think we'll be able to set up a stream?
okay,
We're gonna pray that we can set up a stream next week. If we can't,
if we cannot, we'll see you back the week after. But remember, we are going to be in Oklahoma talking to Mary Pewett's family and discussing that case.
where is it? We have some Oklahoma viewers if you were interested.
The Stevens County Library in Duncan, Oklahoma.
Stevens County. And do you know what day it is and what time? or
It
anything?
is.
It's on the 2nd, I believe. On
It's
Saturday.
May 2nd, Saturday at 11 a.m., I believe, at the Stevens County Library.
Yeah, so we
So-
hope to see maybe somebody there. It's all good vibes. Even with the people that we said stuff, I don't have any ill will to anybody even just the people I was talking whatever about. I don't have any ill will towards you. I hope that we can all learn and grow. I have a lot of learning and growing to do. She'll be the first one to tell you that. I think I've even learned and grown a little bit since we've been on the channel.
I think you have
And
to.
since we've been on the channel, I've made almost a full recovery from my eating disorder. There's good things that have been happening in our lives, and we've been changing and evolving. And you know what?
It's a
I'm
learning
proud of
process.
where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
And even if people don't agree, and even if people don't want to watch, then okay.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody to watch me if they don't like what we're doing. So
Yeah. So from now on, I will not be going in people's live streams and communicating under Into the Weeds podcast. If I do happen to go in a stream, which I'm going to try to stay away from everything
I mean,
for a while.
there
you
might
know.
be a couple friends that we have that we're trying
Yes,
to support.
yes.
And we're going to support people that we love regardless of what they're talking about.
But I even watch people that I don't enjoy just to get information, just to learn. And, and that's okay.
I get stressed out when I do, so I just don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll hear the Cliff's Notes from you or somebody else, but
So, so we're just, I'm sorry that that some people had the perception that we were scammers and grifters and all of that. But I would ask you, well, where is this coming from? Because we've been very solid for 2 years about everything that we've done. We've been extremely transparent. And if you don't see that, I guess you will never see it. So there's nothing I can do to change it. So with that being said, we hope that you have a very blessed evening and that please go out and do something good to change the world for the better. Bye,
thanks,
everybody.
guys.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm, and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25 and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.